Hello dear friend, today we are going to discuss 220 MCQs on existentialism as well as educational implication of existentialism. ये सीरीज में आपको 90 MCQ और PYQ आपको existentialism फिलोसफी से ही मिलेगा और 130 MCQs और PYQs आपको फ्रॉम एजुकेशनल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखने के लिए मिलेगा। तो दोस्तों चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं विदाउट वेस्टिंग टाइम। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज हु इज कंसिडर्ड द फादर ऑफ एग्जिस्टेंशियलिज्म? फ्रेडरिक नीत्शे, जीन पॉल सार्त्रे, सोरेन कियरकेगार्ड एंड मेर्टेन हेडगेर। आप लोग को पता ही है कि सोरेन कियरकेगार्ड इसका आंसर है। ही इज द फाउंडर ऑफ एग्जिस्टेंशियलिज्म। सेकंड क्वेश्चन है एग्जिस्टेंशियलिज्म इज प्राइमरीली कंसर्न्स विथ, ऑप्शन है ऑब्जेक्टिव रियलिटी, सब्जेक्टिव एक्सपीरियंस एंड इंडिविजुअल फ्रीडम, सोशल जस्टिस और हिस्टोरिकल प्रोग्रेस। ये क्वेश्चन का आंसर है दोस्तों सब्जेक्टिव एक्सपीरियंस एंड इंडिविजुअल फ्रीडम। थर्ड क्वेश्चन है सब्जेक्टिव एक्सपीरियंस एंड इंडिविजुअल फ्रीडम। नेक्स्ट, व्हिच एग्जिस्टेंशियलिस्ट फिलोसोफर फेमसली रोट बीइंग एंड नथिंगनेस? ऑप्शन है अल्बर्ट कैमस, जीन पॉल सार्त्रे, साइमन डी बीवर और पोएट्री। इसी का जो आंसर है दोस्तों वो है जीन पॉल सार्त्रे। चौथा क्वेश्चन है अकॉर्डिंग टू एग्जिस्टेंशियलिज्म एग्जिस्टेंस प्रीसीड्स, ऑप्शन है एसेंस, रियलिटी, ट्रूथ, परसेप्शन। इसका आंसर है एग्जिस्टेंस प्रीसीड एसेंस। एग्जिस्टेंशियलिज्म इज ऑफ्टन एसोसिएटेड विथ, ऑप्शन डिटर्मिनिज्म, निहिलिज्म, यूटिलिटेरियनिज्म एंड रैशनलिज्म। दोस्तों इसी का आंसर जो है वो है निहिलिज्म। निहिलिज्म इसी का आंसर है। व्हिच एग्जिस्टेंशियलिस्ट कॉन्सेप्ट रेफर्स टू एंजाइटी कॉज्ड बाय रियलाइजिंग फ्रीडम टू चूज? ऑप्शन एंग्स्ट, डेसेंस, ऑब्सर्व्स, एग्जिस्टेंस। इसी का जो आंसर है दोस्तों वो है एंग्स्ट। एंग्स्ट इसी का आंसर है। सेवेंथ नंबर क्वेश्चन, एग्जिस्टेंशियलिज्म emerged primarily in which century? ऑप्शन 17th century, 18th century, 19th century, 20th century। ऑप्शन है 20th century। दिस इज ए फिलोसफी ऑफ 20th century। आठवां क्वेश्चन, which existentialist philosopher is known for his concept of the observed? ऑप्शन फ्रेडरिच नीत्शे, जीन पॉल सार्त्रे, कैमस और हेडगेर। और इसी का जो आंसर है वो है अल्बर्ट कैमस। अल्बर्ट कैमस इज ए very well known existentialist philosopher who known very well for his concept observed. The existentialist idea of authenticity refers to living in accordance with societal norm, being true to oneself and one's own values, achieve material success, following religious doctrines. Which one is right? Being true oneself and one's own value. This is the central idea of existentialist. 10th number question. Existentialism challenges traditional views of human nature by emphasizing determinism, individuals' freedoms and responsibility, social harmony, conformity to societal norms. इसका आंसर है individuals' freedom and responsibility. Next, which existentialist philosopher is known for the concept of throughness of being through into existence? निश्चय, सर्टे, हेडगर, बेवियर. इसी का जो आंसर है दोस्तों कौन सा हेडगर. हेडगर is the right answer of this question. Existentialism often critique traditional philosophical systems for being too focused on morals, absolutes, rational logic, social quality, or historical progress. Which one is right from this answer? Rational and rationality and logic is the answer of these questions. Which existentialist philosopher emphasized the idea of resolute choice in facing the anxiety of freedom? निश्चय, सर्टे, कियरकेगार्ड एंड हेडगर. ऑप्शन से ये हेडगर जो है ये इसी का राइट आंसर. Next, existentialism is often associated with which of the following literary genres? Romanticism, realism, absurdist fiction, कैथोलिक लिटरेचर. इसी का जो आंसर है दोस्तों वो है absurdist fiction. absurdist fiction इसी का आंसर है. The existentialist notion of bad faith refers to dishonesty or self-deception about one's true self and freedom, morals, wrongdoings, lack of religious faith, political corruption. इसका जो आंसर है dishonesty or self-deception about one's true self and freedom. 16 number question. Existentialism places a strong emphasis on objective truth, individual experience and subjectivity, group identity, social conformity. ये सबसे जो strong emphasis करता है वो है individual's experience and subjectivity. Which existentialist philosopher argued that existence precedes essence? निश्चय, सर्टे, कियरकेगार्ड एंड कैम्यूस. इसी का जो आंसर है वो है जीन पॉल सार्टे. The existentialist idea of angst and existential dread refers to fear of physical harm, fear of societal judgment, anxiety about the meaninglessness of existence, fear of death. इसी का जो आंसर है एंजाइटी अबाउट मीनिंगलेसनेस ऑफ एग्जिस्टेंस. दिस इज द मीनिंग ऑफ एंगस्ट एंड एग्जिस्टेंशियल ड्रेड. Existentialism challenges traditional views of human nature by emphasizing determinism, freedoms and responsibility, conformity to societal norm, religious dogma. इसी का जो आंसर है freedoms and responsibility. Which existentialist philosopher is known for the concept of the absurd and the idea of revolt against it? निश्चय, सर्टे, कैमस एंड हेडगर. इसका आंसर जो है ये है कैमस. कैमस was an existentialist philosopher who was well known for the concept of absurd and the idea of revolt against it. Existentialism Existentialism often critiques traditional philosophical system for their neglect of ethics and morality, aesthetic and beauty, logic and reasons, individual's experience and subjectivity. इसी का जो आंसर है इंडिविजुअल एक्सपीरियंस एंड सब्जेक्टिविटी. Which existentialist philosopher is associated with the concept of authenticity in living one's life? फ्रेडरिच, जीन पॉल सर्टे, सोरेन कियरकेगार्ड, मार्टिन हेडगर. इसका जो आंसर है जीन पॉल सर्टे. जीन पॉल सर्टे इज द जीन पॉल सर्टे is the answer of these questions. Existentialism challenges the idea of predetermined human's nature by emphasizing social conditioning, personal choice and freedoms, biological determinisms, cultural norm. इसी का जो आंसर है पर्सनल चॉइस एंड फ्रीडम. The existentialist concept of death consciousness refers to fear of physical death, awareness of the inevitability of death and its impact on life's meaning, mourning for lost loved one, religious contemplation of the afterlife. इसी का जो आंसर है awareness of the inevitability of death and its impact on life's meaning. Existentialism emerged as a philosophical movement primarily in response to political unrest, scientific discoveries, World War Second World War and its aftermath, economic depression. Answer is Second World War and its aftermath. Which existentialist philosopher is known for the concept of anguish and profound existential dread? फ्रेडरिच, निश्चे, सार्टे, कियरकेगार्ड, कैमस. इसी का जो आंसर है वो दोस्तों वो है कियरकेगार्ड. Existentialism often critiques traditional philosophical system for their emphasis on spiritual enlightenment, social harmony, metaphysical speculation, economic progress. Which one is right? Metaphysical speculation. Existentialism often critiques traditional philosophy system for their overemphasis on metaphysical speculation. Which existentialist philosopher emphasized the concept of existence as a leap into individual freedom and responsibility? Nietzsche, Sartre, Kierkegaard and Heidegger. इसका आंसर है Kierkegaard. Existentialism challenges traditional views of human existence by focusing on innate goodness, authenticity, self-definition, collective identity, conformity to societal norm. इसी का जो आंसर है authenticity and self definition. Which existentialist philosopher is known for the concept of being for others and the idea of the gaze of other? ऑप्शन है निश्चे, सर्टे, कैमस एंड बीवर. इसका जो आंसर है दोस्तों वो है जीन पॉल सर्टे. Existentialism critiques traditional ethic by emphasizing universal moral laws, personal responsibility and choice, social utility, religious dogma. Personal responsibility and choice is the answer of this question. Which existentialist philosopher is known for the concept of being toward death as a way to confront the meaning of existence? Option Nietzsche, Jean Paul Sartre, Martin Heidegger एंड अल्बर्ट कैमस. इसी का जो आंसर है दोस्तों वो है हेडगर। Existentialism emphasizes the significance of which aspect of human experience: physical pleasure, intellectual prowess, prowess, emotional resilience, moral and existential dilemma। इसी का जो आंसर है दोस्तों वो है मोरल एंड एग्जिस्टेंशियल dilemmas, which existentialist philosopher argued for the concept of eternal recurrence as a test of individual authenticity। निश्चय, सर्टे, कियरकेगार्ड, मार्टिन। इसी का जो आंसर है वो है निश्चय, फ्रेडरिच निश्चय। Existentialism challenges traditional views of meaning by ascertaining that meaning is primarily objective and absolute, subjective and created by individual, cultural and historical, derived from religious doctrines। इसी का जो आंसर है वो है subjective and created by individuals। Which existentialist philosopher is known for his concept of absurdity in confronting the meaninglessness of existence? फ्रेडरिच, सर्टे, कैमस एंड सीमन। इसी का जो आंसर है दोस्तों वो है कैमस। Existentialism critiques traditional religious view by emphasizing faith and devotion, personal responsibility and freedoms, rituals and ceremonies, hierarchical structure। इसी का जो आंसर है वो है पर्सनल रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एंड फ्रीडम। Which existentialist philosopher is known for the concept of the will to power and critique of traditional value? Friedrich, Sartre, Kierkegaard एंड मार्टिन। इसी का आंसर है फ्रेडरिच। Existentialism challenges traditional notion of identity by emphasizing fixed role and responsibility, fluidity and self-definition, social status and hierarchy, genetic predisposition। इसी का जो आंसर है दोस्तों कौन सा fluidity and self-definition is the answer of this question। Which existentialist philosopher is known for the concept of existential despair and the struggle for authentic existence? फ्रेडरिच, सर्टे, कियरकेगार्ड, मार्टिन। इसी का जो आंसर है वो है सोरेन कियरकेगार्ड। Existentialism often explore the concept of angst, which refers to fear of death, dread and dread or anxiety, existential boredoms, emotional detachment। ये है dread and dread or anxiety is the answer of this question। Which existentialist philosopher is known for his concept of existence precedes essence? फ्रेडरिच, सर्टे, सोरेन, मार्टिन्स। इसी का जो आंसर है वो है सर्टे। Existentialism challenges traditional view of human's nature by emphasizing innate goodness, fixed personal trait, freedoms and responsibility, genetic determinism। इसका जो आंसर है वो है freedom and responsibility। Which existentialist philosopher is known for the concept of the absurd and the search for meaning in a meaningless universe? Nietzsche, जीन पॉल सार्ट्रे, सोरेन कियरकेगार्ड एंड कैमस। इसी का जो आंसर है वो है कैमस। Existentialism critiques traditional view of morality by emphasizing the importance of divine comment, commandments, cultural norm, पर्सनल चॉइस एंड ऑथेंटिसिटी, सोशल कॉन्फर्मिटी। इसी का जो आंसर है वो है पर्सनल चॉइस एंड ऑथेंटिसिटी। Which existentialist philosopher is known for his concept the will to power and critique of traditional view? फ्रेडरिच, सर्टे, कियरकेगार्ड, मार्टिन। इसी का जो आंसर है वो है फ्रेडरिच निश्चय। Existentialism critiques traditional view of truth by emphasizing that truth is objective and absolute, subjective and contextual, based on scientific evidence, established cultural consensus. Subjective and contextual is the answer of these questions. Which existentialist philosopher is known for his concept of the leap of faith as a commitment to religious belief despite uncertainty? Friedrich, Sartre, Kierkegaard, Camus. Answer is Soren Kierkegaard. Existentialism critiques traditional view of happiness by emphasizing that true fulfillment comes from materials, possessions, social status, self-actualization and authenticity, cultural integration. Answer is self-actualization and authenticity. Which existentialist philosopher is known for its critique of being toward death and the awareness of mortality? Friedrich, Sartre, Martins, Camus. Answer is Martins, Heidegger. Existentialism challenges traditional views of identity by emphasizing that identity is fixed and unchangeable, fluid and self-defined, determined by social rule, generally predetermined. Answer is fluid and self-defined. Which existentialist philosopher is known for his concept of throughness and the notion of being toward death? Martin Heidegger. Existentialism critiques traditional views of freedom by emphasizing that freedom entails absence of responsibility, social acceptance, moral obligation, पर्सनल चॉइस एंड रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी। इसी का जो आंसर है वो है पर्सनल चॉइस एंड रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी। Which existentialist philosopher is known for its concept of the eternal recurrence and the will to power? Friedrich, Sartre, Kierkegaard, Martins, हेडगर। इसी का जो आंसर है वो है फ्रेडरिच। Existentialism critiques traditional views of religions by emphasizing the importance of rational thought, irrational impulses, logical consistency, social convention। इसी का जो आंसर है वो irrational impulses। Existentialism places a strong emphasis on determinism, free will, social conformity, traditional values। इसी का जो आंसर है फ्री विल। Which existentialist philosopher is known for its concept of bad faith and the idea of self-deception? Friedrich, Sartre, Kierkegaard, Camus। इसी का जो आंसर है वो है सार्टे। Existentialism challenges traditional view of human existence by emphasizing the importance of objective truth, subjective experience, religious doctrines, social hierarchies. 58. Subjective experience. Which philosopher is known for his concept of authenticity and living in accordance with one's true self. Friedrich Sartre, सोरेन कियरकेगार्ड, मार्टिन हेडगर। इसका जो आंसर है वो सत्य। Existentialism critic traditional view of morality by emphasizing universal ethical norms, relativisms, utilitarianisms, legalistic principle। इसी का जो आंसर है वो है relativisms। Which existentialist philosopher is known for his concept of being in itself and being for itself? Friedrich, Sartre, Kierkegaard, मार्टिन। आंसर जो है जीन पॉल सत्ते। Existentialism critiques traditional views of meanings by emphasizing the meaning of intrinsic to existence imposed by society, absolute and unchanging, irrelevant to human experience। इसी का जो आंसर है वो है intrinsic to existence। Which existentialist philosopher is known for his concept of existential psychoanalysis and the search for personal meaning? Friedrich, Sartre, विक्टर एंड मार्टिन। इसी का जो आंसर है वो है विक्टर फ्रैंकल। Existentialism challenges traditional views of death by emphasizing that death is final and absolute, a transition to an afterlife avoidable through technology, insignificant to human existence। इसी का जो आंसर है वो फाइनल एंड एब्सोल्यूट। Which existentialist philosopher is known for his concept of existence preceding essence and radical freedom? Friedrich, Sartre, Kierkegaard, Camus, Jean-Paul Sartre is the answer of this question. Existentialism emphasizes the importance of individual conformity, freedoms, tradition, hierarchy। 66 नंबर आंसर है freedom। Which existentialist philosopher is known for his concept of absurdity and the idea that life lacks inherent meaning? Friedrich, Sartre, सोरेन, कैमस। आंसर जो है वो है कैमस। Existentialism critiques traditional views on truth by emphasizing objective reality, subjective perception, religious doctrines और साइंटिफिक प्रिंसिपल। आंसर जो है वो है सब्जेक्टिव परसेप्शन। Which existentialist philosopher is known for his concept of authentic existence and living genuinely? ऑप्शन जो है फ्रेडरिच, सर्टे, सोरेन, मार्टिन। आंसर जो है वो है सोरेन कियरकेगार्ड। Existentialism challenges traditional view of identity and emphasizing fixed role, fluidity and choice, social conformity, historical determinism। इसी का आंसर जो है वो है fluidity and choice। Which existentialist philosopher is known for his concept of throughness and the exploration of human existence as being thrown into a world not of one's own making? Friedrich, Jean-Paul Sartre, सोरेन, मार्टिन। इसका आंसर जो है मार्टिन हेडगर। Existentialism critiques traditional view of happiness by emphasizing that happiness is option achievable through material success, subjective and elusive, a result of religious belief, universal and constant। यूनिवर्सल एंड कांस्टेंट। इसी का जो आंसर है सब्जेक्टिव एंड इल्यूसिव। existentialist philosopher is known for his concept of radical atheism and rejection of traditional religious beliefs? Friedrich, Jean-Paul Sartre, कियरकेगार्ड, कैमस। इसका आंसर जो है वो है फ्रेडरिच। Existentialism challenges traditional views of ethics by emphasizing universal moral laws, individual responsibility, cultural relativism, legalistic principle। इसका आंसर जो है individual responsibility। Which existentialist philosopher is known for his concept of being toward death, being towards death, and anticipation of one's own morality? फ्रेडरिच, जीन पॉल सार्टे, कियरकेगार्ड, मार्टिन हेडगर। इसी का आंसर जो है वो है मार्टिन हेडगर। Existentialism often critiques traditional philosophical approaches by emphasizing objective truth, subjective experience, historical determinism, religious dogma। इसी का आंसर जो है वो है subjective experience। Which existentialist philosopher is known for his concept of existence precede essence, arguing that individuals define themselves through their action and choices? Friedrich, Sartre, Kierkegaard, and Camus। आंसर है जीन पॉल सार्टे। Existentialism challenges traditional views of knowledge by emphasizing that truth is objective and absolute, subjective and contextual, found in religious scripture, established through empirical method। इसी का आंसर जो है वो है subjective and contextual। Next question: which existentialist philosopher is known for his concept of the will to power and the idea that life is fundamentally a struggle for power and dominance? फ्रेडरिच, सर्टे, सोरेन, मार्टिन। इसी का जो आंसर है वो है फ्रेडरिच। Existentialism critique traditional views of freedom by emphasizing freedoms as conformity, freedoms as obedience, freedoms as responsibility, freedoms as privilege। आंसर है freedom as responsibility। Which existentialist philosopher is known for his concept of the absurd and the idea that life is inherently irrational and meaningless? फ्रेडरिच, सर्टे, सोरेन, कैमस। इसी का आंसर जो है वो है अल्बर्ट कैमस। Existentialism challenges traditional views of purpose by emphasizing that individuals must create their own social status, economic wealth, meaning and purpose, political influence। इसी का आंसर जो है वो है मीनिंग एंड पर्पस। Which existentialist philosopher is known for his concept of anxiety and the exploration of human condition as marked by anguish and dread? फ्रेडरिच, सर्टे, सोरेन कियरकेगार्ड, मार्टिन। इसी का आंसर जो है सोरेन कियरकेगार्ड। Existentialism critiques traditional view of identity by emphasizing that identity is fixed and unchanging, defined by social norm, fluids and contingent, determined by genetic factor। इसी का आंसर जो है वो है fluids and contingent। Which existentialist philosopher is known for his concept of authenticity and the idea that individual must act in accordance with their true self? फ्रेडरिच, सर्टे, सोरेन, मार्टिन। इसी का आंसर जो है वो है जीन पॉल सर्टे। an individual's journey dictated by cultural norms, defined by religious belief। इसका आंसर जो है an individual journey। Which existentialist philosopher is known for the concept of bad faith or self-deception? फ्रेडरिच सर्टे, सोरेन, मार्टिन हेडगर। इसका आंसर जो है वो है जीन पॉल सर्टे। नेक्स्ट, existentialism critiques traditional views of human nature by emphasizing predetermined essence, infinite potential, fixed personality trait, social determinisms। इसका जो आंसर है वो है infinite potential। Which existentialist philosopher is known for his work The Myth of Sisyphus? फ्रेडरिच सर्टे, कियरकेगार्ड, कैमस। इसका आंसर जो है वो कैमस। Existentialism often explore the tension between faith and religion, freedoms and responsibility, science and religions, community and individuality। Freedoms and responsibility is the answer। Till these questions, we discussed the MCQ on existentialism and its philosopher। Now we will start the MCQ of educational implication of existentialism। Let's start। The first question is, which of the following is a primary focus of existentialist education? Standardized testing, individual freedoms and responsibility, memorization of fact, teacher-centered instruction। Answer is individuals, freedoms and responsibility। According to existentialist philosophy, the role of the teacher is primarily impose knowledge on student, facilitate self-discovery and personal growth, enforce strict disciplines, prepare students for standardized exam। Answer is facilitate self-discovery and personal growth। Existentialism in education emphasizes the development of critical thinking and creativity, strict adherence to a prescribed curriculums, uniformity in student behavior and thought, high stakes testing as a measure of success। The development of critical thinking and creativity is the answer of this question। Which concept is central to existentialist education? Authenticity, conformity, standardization, objective testing। Authenticity is the answer of this question। In an existentialist classroom, the curriculum would likely be standardized and uniform for all students, focus on developing personal meaning and self-awareness, emphasize rote learning and memorization, be heavily oriented towards vocational training। Answer is focused on developing personal meaning and self-awareness। Existentialist educator believe that students should be passive recipient of knowledge. Education should prepare students to conform to societal norm. Each student should be encouraged to find their own path and meaning. The teacher's authority should never be questioned। Answer is each student should be encouraged to find their own path and meaning। According to existentialism, the ultimate aim of education is to ensure students achieve high grades, develop well-rounded citizens, help individuals realize their own potential and authentic self, trained student for specific career. The answer of this question help individuals realize their own potential and authentic self. Critique of existentialist education argue that it focuses too much on authenticity, individuality, and neglects social responsibility. It is too rigid and flexible. It emphasizes rote memorization over critical thinking. It lacks a clear structure and measurable outcomes. Answer is focuses too much individuality and neglects social responsibility. Existentialism views freedoms in education as allowing students to choose their learning path and be responsible for their decisions, strictly controlling the learning environment, enforcing standardized curriculums, focusing solely on academic achievement. Answer of this question is allowing students to choose their learning path and be responsible for their decision. Existentialist thinkers like Jean Paul Sartre, Martins believe that education should prepare students for predetermined role in society, encourage students to question and challenge existing norms, focus on vocational training and job preparation, adhere strictly to traditional educational method. And the answer of these questions is encourage students to participate and challenge existing norms, which existentialist concept emphasizes the importance of living a life true to one's self rather than conforming to external expectations. Absurdisms, authenticity, determinisms, and empiricisms. Answer is authenticity. How do existentialist educators view the role of student emotion in the learning process? This should be ignored in favor of rational thought. They are an integral part of learning experience. They should be minimized through discipline. They are irrelevant to academic success. Answer of this question is they are integral part of the learning experience. In the existentialist classroom, the learning environment is often characterized by strict rules and regulation, flexible and open dialogue, a focus on competition among students, rigid adherence to a set curriculum. Answer is fixed flexibility and open dialogue. Existentialist education places a strong emphasis on collective learning experiences, individual experiences and perspectives, universal truths and principles, objective measures of knowledge. Answer of this question is individual experience and perspective. Which of the following best describes the existentialist approaches to students' choice in education? It limits choice to ensure all students receive the same education. It encourages students to make choices that reflect their personal interest and goals. It emphasizes following a predetermined path set by the educator. It discourages choice to maintain classroom order. It answer of these questions is it encourage students to make choices that reflect their personal interest and goals. Existentialist educator believes believe that true learning occurs when students pass standardized tests, students memorize and recall information, students engaged in self-reflection and personal making, students compete with one another for grades. Answer of these questions is students engage in self-reflection and personal meaning making. How does existentialist philosophy view the concept of truth in education? Truth is absolute and unchanging. Truth is relative and can vary from person to person. Truth is irrelevant to the educational process. Truth is determined by societal norms. Answer of this question is truth is absolute and unchanging. An existentialist curriculum would most likely include standardized textbooks and uniform lessons, opportunities for students to explore their own interest, a strict focuses on core academic subjects, highly structured and teacher directed activity. Answer of this question is opportunity for students to explore their own interest. Existentialist educators argue that the primary purpose of education is to prepare students for employment, develop students' ability to think independently and critically, ensure students conform to societal expectations, teach students a fixed body of knowledge. Answer of this question develop students' ability to think independently and critically. In an existentialist approach to education, what is the significance of student-teacher relationship? Teachers should remain distant and authoritative. Teachers should act as facilitator and guide in a collaborative relationship. Teachers should dictate all learning activities. Teachers should focus solely on delivering content. Answer of this question teachers should act as a facilitator and guides in a collaborative relationship. Next, according to existentialist educators, what is the role of anxiety in learning process? Anxiety should be eliminated from of classroom from the classroom. Anxiety is a natural part of the process of self-discovery. Anxiety hinder the learning process and should be minimized. Anxiety is irrelevant to education. Answer of this question is anxiety is a natural part of the process of self-discovery. Which of the following is key focus of existentialist education? Developing technical skill for the job market, encouraging self-awareness and personal growth, memorizing historical dates and facts, confirming the societal norms and expectations. Answer of this question is encouraging self-awareness and personal growth. In an existentialist classroom, students are encouraged to follow strict rules and guidelines, question their own belief and values, compete with their peers for the highest grades, focus solely on academic achievement. Answer of this question is questions their own belief and value. Is the answer of this question. Existentialist educator believe that students' education should be standardized for all students, tailored to the individual's unique experience and needs, centered on rote learning and memorization, directed by teacher with little input from the students. Answer of this questions is tailored to the individual's unique experience and needs. Which of the following best describes the existentialist view on standardized testing? It is the best way to measure student success. It undermines the individuality of students. It is necessary to ensure accountability. It should be the primary focus of education. Answer of this question is it undermine the individuality of the students. Existentialism is in education promotes the idea that all students should learn the same material. Learning is a deeply personal and subjective experience. Education should be primarily teacher centered. Students should be prepared to meet societal demand. Answer of this question is learning is a deeply personal and societal experience. Next, in existentialist education, how is the concept of freedoms understood? Freedom is secondary to discipline. Freedom is essential for authentic learning. Freedom should be restricted to maintain order. Freedom is illusions and should not be emphasized. Answer of this question freedom is essential for authentic learning. Existentialist educators view the purpose of dialogue in the classroom as a way to impart knowledge from teacher to students, a means for students to explore the express their own ideas, a method to reinforce established facts, a tool for maintaining discipline. Answer of this question is a means for students to explore and express their own ideas. Which is not the which of the following is not a characteristic of existentialist education? Emphasis on personal responsibility and choice, focus on development of the whole person, use a rigid and standardized curricula, encouragement of self-reflection and introspection. Answer of this question is use of rigid and standardized curriculum. Next, existentialist philosophy in education is in education values which of the following above else all else: conformity of societal expectations, the development of critical thinking skills, the acquisition of factual knowledge, the preparation for standardized tests. Answer of this question is the development of critical thinking skills. Which existentialist philosopher is most closely associated with the idea that existence precedes essence? Sartre, Heidegger, Soren, Friedrich. Answer is Sartre. How does existentialist education view the concept of failure? Failure is negative outcome that must be avoided. Failure is a natural part of the learning process and an opportunity for growth. Failure indicates a lack of effort and should be penalized. Failure, failure is irrelevant to the learning experience. Answer of this question is failure is a natural part of the learning process and an opportunity for growth. In the context of existentialist education, the term absurdity refers to the meaninglessness of life without personal meaning, the irrationality of students' behavior, the complexity of educational systems, the strict rules imposed by educational institutions. Answer of this question is the meaninglessness of life without personal meaning. Which of the following best represents the existentialist perspective on teacher authority? Teachers should hold absolute authority over students. Teachers should facilitate rather than dictate the learning process. Teachers should enforce strict discipline at all times. Teachers should focus solely on delivering content. Answer of this question teacher should facilitate rather than dictate the learning process. Existentialist education places a strong emphasis on the development of technical skills for the workforce, standardized academic knowledge, personal autonomy and self-direction, compliance with educational standards. Answer of this question is personal autonomy and self-direction, which existentialist concept emphasizes that individuals must create their own meaning in life. Answer of this question is freedoms. Existentialist educators believe that education should primarily prepare students for the job market, develop the students' ability to think critically and independently, ensure students memorize core academic content, enforce societal norm and value. Answer of this question is develop the students' ability to think critically and independently. What is the role of teacher in an existentialist classroom? To impose strict discipline and control, to act as a facilitator and guide for students for discovery, to ensure all students achieve the same academic standards, to deliver information through lectures. Answer of this question is to act as a facilitator and guide for student self-discovery. Next, which of the following best describes the existentialist view on curriculum? The curriculum should be rigid and standardized. The curriculum should be fixed, flexible, and student-centered. The curriculum should focus on technical skill. The curriculum should be dictated by governmental standards. Answer of this question is the curriculum should be flexible and student-centered. According to existentialism, what is the primary goal of education? To impact factual knowledge, to develop autonomous and responsible individual, to prepare students for standardized tests, to enforce social conformity. Answer of this question is to develop autonomous and responsible individual. Which existentialist philosopher emphasized the concept of being in the world? Sartre, Martin, Soren, Frederick. Answer of this question is Martin Heidegger. Martin Heidegger is the answer of this question. Existentialist education views human beings as predetermined by their environment, free and responsible agent, product of genetic inheritance, defined by their social role. Answer of this question is free and responsible agents. Which of the following is a key characteristic of existentialist pedagogy? Emphasis on objective knowledge, focus on personal meaning and experience, reliance on traditional teaching methods, adherence to a fixed curriculum. Answer of this question is focus on personal meaning and experience. Existentialists believe that true education occurs when students achieve higher grade, students pass standardized tests, students engage in self-reflection and personal growth, students conform to societal expectation. Answer of this question is students engage in self-reflection and personal growth. In existentialist thought, the absurd refers to the lack of meaning in life without personal effort to create it, the rational behavior of students, the unpredictable nature of educational outcomes, the rigid structure of traditional educational system. Answer of this question is the lack of meaning in a life without personal Existentialist education values the development of conformity and obedience, creativity and individuality, memorization and recreations, technical and vocational skills. Answer of this question is creativity and individuality. Which of the following best captures the existentialist perspective on students' choice in education? Students should have limited choice to ensure proper guidance. Students should be given freedoms to choose their educational paths. Choices should be made by educators to streamline learning. Choices should align with societal expectation. Answer of this question is students should be given freedoms to choose their educational paths. Existentialist educator believe that the process of learning should be standardized and uniform for all students. An individualized journey of self-exploration focused on technical proficiency directed by strict curricular. Answer of this question is an individualized journey of self-exploration. In the context of existentialist education, authenticity refers to following societal norms, living in accordance with one's own true self, achieving high academic standards, conforming to educational expectation. Answer of this question is living in accordance with one's true self. How do existentialist educators view the relationship between student and teachers? As a hierarchical relationship where the teacher is authority, as a collaborative relationship where both learn from each other, as a transactional relationship focused on grades, as an impersonal relationship focused on content delivery. Answer of this question is as a collaborative relationship with both learn from each other. Next, which existentialist thinker is known for the idea of the leap of faith in search for personal meaning? Jean-Paul Sartre, Friedrich Soren, and Mate. Answer of this question is Soren Kierkegaard. Next question. Existentialist education emphasizes the importance of national standards and testing, developing a student unique potentials, adherence to a fixed curriculums, uniformity and equality in education. Answer of this question is developing a student's unique potential. According to existentialism, students are encouraged to accept predetermined rule, challenge established norm, confirm societal expectations, memorize factual information. Answer of this question is challenge established norm. In existentialist classroom, assessment are likely to be standardized test, reflective essay and project, multiple choice quizzes, oral examination. Answer of this question is reflective essay and projects. Existentialist philosophy in education stresses the importance of structured and predetermined learning paths, individual freedoms and responsibility, external rewards and punishment, strict adherence to educational norms. Answer of this question is individual freedom and responsibility. Which concept of existentialism is crucial for understanding of the development of personal identity in students? Being for itself, being for other, being in itself, being with others. Answer of this question is being for itself. Being for itself. Existentialist educators are likely to encourage students to follow tradition traditional educational routes, explore their own interest and passions, focus on vocational training, conform to societal standards. Answer of this question is explore their own interest and passion. What is a common critique of existentialist education? It lacks structure and clear objectives. It is too focused on standardized testing. It does not emphasize technical skills. It is too authoritarian in nature. Answer of this question is it lacks structure and clear objectives. Existentialism in education places significant emphasis on collective good, the individual student experience, government mandated curriculums, extrinsic motivation. Answer of this question is the individual student's experience. How does existentialism view the concept of truth in education? Truth is absolute and unchanging. Truth is relative and subjective. Truth is determined by societal norms. Truth is irrelevant to the learning process. Answer of this question is truth is relative and subjective. Which educational method align most closely with existentialist principle? Lecture-based teaching, inquiry-based learning, rote memorization, and standardized testing. Answer of this question is inquiry-based learning. Existentialist thinkers argue that education should help students to fit into predefined societal norms or so discover their own purpose and meaning, achieve high scores on exams, learn technical and vocational skills. Answer of this question is discover their own personal purpose and meaning. Next, existentialism consider the process of becoming oneself as a passive experience, a dynamic and ongoing process, a one-time event irrelevant to education. Answer of this question a dynamic and ongoing process. Which of the following is not a key concept in existentialist education? Authenticity, freedom, absurdity, conformity. Answer of this question is conformity. Existentialism in education focuses on preparing students for a specific career, life's uncertainties and challenges, national standardized test, following societal expectations. Answer of this question is life uncertainties and challenges. In an existentialist classroom, the role of dialogue is to transmit information, encourage critical thinking and self-reflection, enforce disciplines, ensure memorization and facts. Answer of this question encourage critical thinking and self-reflection. Existentialist educator believes that students should be passive recipients of knowledge, actively engage in their own learning, focus solely on academic achievement, conforms to the teacher's belief. Answer of this question is actively engage in their own learning. According to existentialism, what is the significance of existential anxiety in education? It should be avoided at all cost. It is natural part of the process of self-discovery. It is sign of educational failure. It should be minimized through structured activities. Answer of this question is it is natural part of the process of self-discovery. Which of the following best describes existentialist views on students' motivation? Students are primarily motivated by credits and rewards. Students are motivated by desire to understand themselves and the world. Motivation is irrelevant in existentialist education. Students are motivated by the need to conform. Answer of this question: students are motivated by desire to understand themselves and the world. Existentialist educators view the learning environment as fixed and controlled, flexible and evolving, standardized and uniform, focused and extrinsic reward. Answer of this question is flexible and evolving. According to existentialist philosophy, the ultimate goal of education is to social integration, personal self-fulfillment, economic productivity, scientific advancement. Answer of this question is personal fulfillment, self-fulfillment. Which existentialist concept emphasizes the necessity of making choices in an uncertain world. In an uncertain world. Option: authenticity, absurdity, freedoms, anguish. Answer of this question is freedom. Existentialist educators believe that students should primarily follow a set of curriculum, learn through their own experiences, focus on practical skills, conform to societal standards. Answer of this question: learn through their own experiences. In the context of existentialism, bad faith refers to authentic living, living according to one's own values, denying one's own freedoms and responsibility, embracing uncertainty. Answer of this question: denying one's own freedoms and responsibility. Which aspect is least emphasized in existentialist education? Individual choice, personal responsibility, standardized testing, self reflection. Answer of this question is standardized testing. Existentialist philosophy suggests that educators should option impose their own values on students, encourage students to develop their own values, focus on job oriented skill, and avoid discussing philosophical concepts. Answer of this question: encourage students to develop their own values. In an existentialist framework, the meaning of life is predetermined, defined by society, created by the individuals, or irrelevant. Among the option, the correct option is created by the individual. Existentialist education views the student-centered student-teacher relationship as hierarchical, authoritative, collaborative, and detached. Answer of this question is collaborative. Which practice align with existentialist teaching method? Strict discipline and rules, encouraging self-discovery and exploration, focusing on rote memorization, adhering to a fixed curriculum. Answer of this question: encouraging self-discovery and exploration. Existentialist educators value which type of student evaluation? Quantitative assessment, qualitative assessment, standardized test, multiple choice. Answer of this question is qualitative assessment. According to existentialism, the essence of education is to help individual to achieve economic success, understand and fulfill their own potential, memorize factual information, fill into societal roles. Answer of this question: understand and fulfill their own potential. Which of the following is a central concern in existentialist education? External validations, authentic personal development, national educational standard, technological proficiency. Answer of this question is authentic thought in education place significant emphasis on uniformity, conformity, individuality, collectivisms. Answer of this question is individuality. Existentialist education promote competition among students, cooperation and mutual respect, adherence to rigid rules, dependence on teachers. Answer of this question cooperation and mutual respect. In an existentialist educational setting, teachers are expected to dictate what students should learn, facilitate students' learning journey, emphasize standardized curricula, focus solely on academic performance. Answer of this question is facilitate students' own learning journeys. The existentialist perspective on students' mistake is that they should minimize all cost or opportunity for personal growth, indicate failure should be punished. Answer of this question are opportunity for personal growth. Existentialist education views the act of teaching as transmitting fixed knowledge, encouraging critical thinking and self-exploration, preparing students for standardized tests, imposing societal values. Answer of this question is encouraging critical thinking and self-exploration. In existentialist philosophy, freedom is closely linked to security and predictability, responsibility and choice, external authority and traditions and customs. Answer of this question is responsibility and choice. Existentialist educator view the curriculum as rigid and fixed, flexible and adaptable to individual needs, predetermined by authorities, primarily focused on vocational skills. Answer of this question is flexible and adaptable to individual needs. In the existentialist view, the primary source of meaning in life comes from social norms, personal choices and actions, religious teachings, external authorities. Answer of this question is personal choice and action. Next, which method would an existentialist educator likely avoid? Open discussion, project-based learning, lecture-based teachings, reflective journalings. Answer of this question is lecture-based teaching. Existentialism in education emphasizes the importance of students following a prescribed path, creating their own paths, adhering to social expectations, seeking approval from others. Answer of this question is creating their own paths. The existentialist approaches to discipline in education is likely to be authoritarians, encourage self-discipline and personal responsibility, focus on punishment and force strict rules. Answer of this question is encourage self-discipline and personal responsibility. Educators believe the role of education is to impart technical skill, foster holistic development, prepare for specific careers, enforce conformity. Answer of this question is foster holistic development. Existentialist philosophy asserts that life's meaning is given by external sources created by each individuals on importance in education uniforms for everyone. Answer of this question is created by each individual. Which of the following would existentialist educator most likely support? Nationalized education standard, personalized learning experience, centralized curriculum development, traditional teaching method. Answer of this question is personalized learning experience. Existentialist education is most concerned with academic achievement, standardized testing results, individuals' full self-fulfillment, adhering to societal norm. Answer of this question is individual self-fulfillment. failure in education is that it should be avoided entirely, is a necessary part of personal growth, indicate a lack of ability, should be punished. Answer of this question is a necessary part of personal growth. In an existentialist classroom, how might a teacher handle a student's choice to pursue a non-traditional project that does not align with standardized curriculum? Answer of this question is allow the student to pursue the project emphasizing personal meaning and self-expression. Existentialist educator prioritize external validations, intrinsic motivation, memories, and fact teacher-centered instruction. Answer of this question is intrinsic motivation. Which of the following is a key tenet of existentialist education? Conformity to social norm, personal social autonomy, standardized assessment, teacher authority. Answer of this question is personal choice and autonomy. Existentialist educator believe that learning should primarily be structured and hierarchical, experiential and self-directed, memorization based and competitive. Answer of this question is experiential and self-directed. In existentialist education, the role of teacher is to impose knowledge, facilitate student discovery, enforce discipline, maintain authority. Answer of this question: facilitate student discovery. Existentialism in education places high value on education, predictability, uniformity, individual uniqueness, societal expectation. Answer of this question is individual uniqueness. An existentialist approach to education would likely emphasize vocational training, personal meaning and purposes, compliance with standards, competitive exams. Answer of this question is personal meaning and purpose. Existentialist educator Existentialist educator encourage students to follow predetermined path, create their own path, conform to external pressure, and avoids making mistake. Create their own path is the answer of these questions. Existentialist education view mistake as failure, learning opportunity, unacceptable, punishable offense. Learning opportunity is the answer of this question. In existentialist philosophy, the concept of authority, authenticity refers to conforming to societal norms, being true to one's own value, seeking external approval, avoiding difficult choices. Answer of this question is being true to one's own values. Existentialist educators believe that freedoms in education entail strict guideline, personal responsibility, and choice, rigid curriculums, and teacher control. Answer of this question is personal responsibility and choice. Existentialism in education aim to develop students' ability to memorize fact, think critically and independently, follow order, achieve high test score. Answer of this question is think critically and independently. Existentialist thought in education would prioritize option uniform educational standard, individualized learning experience, centralized decision making, and quantitative assessment. Answer of this question is individualized learning experience. According to existentialist educator, the essence of education lies in academic success, self-discovery, and personal growth, following societal norms, teachers' instruction. Answer of this question is self-discovery and personal growth. Existentialist education challenges students to accept predetermined answers, questions, and explore their own belief. Focus on rote learning, confirms peers' expectation. Answer of this question: questions and explore their own belief. In existentialist education, the importance of subjectivity is stressed because it leads to standardized outcomes. Each individual experience is unique. It simplifies teaching. It avoids conflict. Answer of this question: each individual experience is unique. Next, an existentialist approach to curriculum design would most likely be rigid and uniform, flexible and student-centered, focused on vocational training based on national standard. Answer of this question is flexible and student-centered. Existentialist educators view the role of emotion in education as irrelevant, integrals in personal development, disruptive disruptive to learnings to the control. Answer of this question is integrals to personal development. Next, the existentialist perspective on the purpose of education is to answer of this question is facilitate self-actualization is the answer of this question. Existentialist education seeks to develop seeks to develop independent and critical thinking. Existentialist educators believe that the true measure of success in education is personal fulfillment and authenticity. Existentialist education focuses on individuals' growth and freedom. Existentialist educators aim to create learning environment that promote personal exploration and growth. Which of the following best describe the existentialist view on student assessment? Answer is B. Focused on personal growth and reflection. Existentialist philosophy suggests that the purpose of education is to help individual is the answer of understand and define their own existence. According to existentialist thought, the essence of freedom in education is the freedom to make choices and face consequences. Existentialist educator would likely view the role of limiting to personal development. Existentialist education places importance on creating one's own path. In the context of existentialist education, bad faith is bad faith is living inauthentically and denying one's freedom. Existentialist educator believe that true learning is achieved through active engagement and personal experience. According to existentialist principle, the best educational environment is one that foster individuality and self-expression. Existentialist philosophy in education suggests that the role of student is to actively construct their own understanding. Thank you, dosto. Due to lack of time, I just read out the question and the most appropriate answer. Please pause the video and read carefully and answer yourself. Thank you so much.